All right, welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Bethlehem Zoning Board. My name is Peter Schneck, and I'll be serving as chairman this evening. Serving alongside me are Paige Van Wert, Sharon Wiles-Young, Danielle Joseph, and Lucas Walk. Our zoning officer and tonight's secretary is Mr. Dave Taylor. Our solicitor tonight is attorney Steve Boel, and our stenographer tonight is Moira Evans. At this time, if anybody in the audience plans to speak, stand so you can be sworn in, speak or ask questions.
If anyone's speaking on any matter tonight, if anyone's going to provide any testimony whatsoever tonight, please stand.
Including applicants.
Yeah, even you're not committed to testify if you stand. This is just you're swearing the oath if you testify.
Raise your right hands. You do swear or affirm that the testimony which you shall give in the matter now before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You do so swear or affirm?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, and just a reminder for everybody, we appreciate everyone coming out. If there are questions for the appellants, please try to not repeat the same questions over and over again. We take everything under advisement just to be respectful of everyone's time. At this time, we'll call, if Mr. Taylor could read the facts of 370 11th Avenue.
370 11th Avenue, appeal of Shimer Gardens LLC of a determination of the zoning officer that the subject property is a single-family dwelling with an accessory unit for care of a relative. Applicant believes the property is a non-conforming two-family dwelling. Alternatively, applicant seeks a variance to permit the property to be utilized as a two-family detached dwelling. Sections 1302.02, 1302.40, 1302.93, 1302.146, 1304.02, 1323.03, 1325.05, 1325.06, and all associated variances, special exceptions, and interpretations.
And can you please confirm when the property was posted?
Yes, I do have the zoning hearing board posting certification as well for the
Yeah, for the board's benefit and the applicant's benefit, I'm going to mark the application and the 4 attachments there too as ZHB1 and the posting certification that was just handed to me as ZHB2.
You may proceed with testimony.
Okay.
Well, Counselor, if I can ask, can you give an offer of proof as to who you're calling and what witnesses?
Absolutely. Shimer Gardens LLC will be calling Justin Strasser and Desiree Strasser, and then I believe there's also members of the community that will also be testifying as to the use of the property over time.
Okay. Can you identify yourself also for this?
Yes, and I'm Joseph Kemmerling on behalf of the appellants.
Thank you, sir. You good?
Justin, if you could state your full name.
Justin Michael Strasser.
And what is your relationship to Shimer Gardens LLC?
Desiree and I created Shimer Gardens LLC for the purchase of
Can
the
you
property.
speak into the microphone, please?
Desiree and I,
Get pretty close.
Just there, pulled. It's on a cord pulled right next to you.
we are the members of Shimer Gardens LLC, which we created for purchasing the property.
And when you say we, do you mean you and Desiree Strasser?
Yes,
And does Shimer Gardens LLC own 370 11th Avenue in Bethlehem?
yes.
I want to turn your attention to Exhibit A that was on your application for appeal.
Okay.
Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it?
This is a lot plan that was prepared for the former owners, Joe and Katie Cricks, and it shows their
I can hear the former owners.
the former owners, Joe and Katie Cricks.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're actually a little bit further away. If you pull that mic as close as you can.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
And so it shows their home and their lot on the left, as well as our home on the right.
And when you say our home, do you mean your home, Justin and Desiree, not
Yes.
Shimer Gardens?
Yes.
When did Shimer Gardens purchase the property?
January 22nd or thereabouts
Of what year?
this year.
And was there a tenant living in the second floor of that property?
There was.
And Who is that tenant?
David Blankenship, who is here with us tonight.
And is it your understanding that this property has been used as two separate dwelling spaces for a long time?
Yes.
How long is it your understanding that this property has been used as two dwelling spaces?
Well, we've owned the house next door for 10 years now. And so all of those 10 years, and it's my understanding that it began in the 80s sometime.
I want to turn your attention to Exhibit B, which was in your appeal application. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it?
This is a letter from Daniel Smith, who was writing to confirm that he had rented the space from May of 1991 to May of 2002.
Is that a true and correct copy of that letter?
Yeah.
Now I want to turn your attention to Exhibit C, which was in the appeal application. And I'm going to couple that with Exhibit D. Do you recognize these two pictures?
Yes.
What are they?
Exhibit D shows the whole front of the house, and we have outlined it in two different colors for the main house and the apartment part. And then Exhibit C shows the stairs to the exterior entrance of the apartment.
So Exhibit C is the exterior stairs that are all the way to the right. of
Correct.
Exhibit D.
Yes.
And are those exterior stairs to its own doorway to get into the apartment?
Yes.
Is it your understanding that this property has been used as a two apartment dwelling since before 2012?
Yes.
And you said that there's exterior stairs for the second floor apartment. Is there a separate entrance for the first floor apartment as well?
Yes. They are, you want me to show you where they are?
Yep.
Okay. So
If you can describe it for the
Sure.
record.
on the left side of the house, closer to the chimney, there's a brown front door next to the light that's on. Yeah, that's the front door to the house. And then as you move to the right, there are 5 arched glass windows right there. That's a little sunroom that leads to the rear door of the house.
Now I want to present you with, and I can mark this for the next exhibit. Should I just exhibit 1?
Yeah, I can just exhibit at one. It's fine.
Yep. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is
yes.
it?
This is an MLS listing that was shared with us by one of my friends from the Rotary Club, who's a real estate agent. And she shared this with me when I was trying to learn about the property. And somewhere on here, it lists that it is 2 residential dwelling units. Do you see that, Des? Here it is. Bottom of page 2, property type residential conversion to apartments.
Can the board see the document?
Yep, I have
Oh,
copies.
you
I
have
was
the
just
copy.
marking it.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that. I mean to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Oh, that's mine.
And then once the board gets the copies, I just want you again to explain
Sure.
where on that is so that the board can see it.
So we have 3 pages there. And on the second page, at the bottom of the page, under the heading property characteristics, building, there's the type residential conversion to apartments. And then units 2.
If the property was currently not able to be used as a two-family dwelling, would it be able to be fully utilized, both the first and second floor, adequately?
You're saying for one family? Is that what your question is?
Yes, in other words, the characteristics of the building, is it unique in that there's two separate entrances for two separate apartment spaces?
I mean, they are completely separate units. There's kitchens and bathrooms, and it would be awkward for one family.
And you said there's two separate kitchens,
Mhm.
bathrooms.
Yeah, there's separate bathrooms. There's the apartment has 3 bedrooms. It has its own electric meter.
And when you say it has its own electric meter, do you mean the second floor apartment has its own electric meter,
Mhm.
and then the first apartment has its own electric meter?
Yes.
And do you think that this property is beneficial for the community, considering the state of available housing in Bethlehem? Meaning, is this beneficial in that it would allow two separate individuals to share the space versus?
Yeah, there seem to be lots of articles in the paper about the need for that.
How do you think that allowing these two separate spaces to continue would affect the characteristics of the community?
I think our block would remain as is.
Would it create a hardship on you to be able to be required to use this as a one-family space versus a two-family space?
Yes, I don't know how that would change our plans. It would change our plans significantly.
Now, I want to talk with you about the application. There was an addendum on that application, and it lists a bunch of addresses.
Mhm.
Can you explain what those addresses are?
Yes, those are addresses of homes from a walk around the RS district that seem to be being used in a similar way. Multiple meters, multiple entrances, things like that. And mailboxes, multiple mailboxes.
Additionally, when you're on the property, right across the street from the property, is there a nursing home right
Yes,
across
that's
the
Holy
street?
Family Manor.
And is it your understanding that more than one family is present there?
That is my understanding.
I don't have any more questions for this witness if the board has any questions.
Just for the board's benefit, and I read the materials ahead of the hearing. And Dave, I don't know if you should have gone first on this. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's at issue in the case is that an application was filed for what? Dave, you can answer that or you can.
Yep, it's a non-conforming use or a variance.
So you're trying to establish that the two dwelling residential use is a pre-existing non-conforming use.
That's correct.
And the city's determination, which I saw was in the packet, was that it is not a pre-existing non-conforming use. And Dave can explain why his theory on that. But what we're effectively trying to establish right now is the duration of the use that it's been in place as a two dwelling non-conforming use.
That's correct. Or in the alternative of variance.
Or an
but-
alternative variance.
But
fair
yes,
enough.
I think the principal purpose here, and I think what the witnesses in the gallery will testify to, is that this has been used for decades in this manner.
Yeah, so help me understand what established that when it was converted at that time, whenever it was, and then we'll hear testimony on that. What establishes that that was allowed under the zoning ordinance?
Yeah, so I do have an excerpt of the zoning ordinance. The old
Fair enough.
zoning ordinance, there's a link online for it, but it's when I click on it, it says this is not secure, so I can't actually view it. But I was able to find an excerpt from the zoning ordinance, the prior zoning ordinance. This district didn't exist prior to 2012.
Okay.
This was a new created district.
So for the board's benefit then, I mean, what the case relates to, I mean, we'd like to get that into evidence.
And I
Is
have
that
it
under
right
the
here.
prior zoning ordinance, the position is that a two dwelling unit was permitted And if you want to hand that up, we can certainly look at that.
Yeah, what I would say is I, without benefit of the full zoning ordinance, I can't pull up to figure out which district it's in.
Yeah. Yep, we get it. So,
But that district that it exists in now didn't exist back then.
fair enough. And your position is that under the zoning as existed at that time, and I think I don't know if the other witnesses will establish what that time was.
Yep.
Certainly before the zoning ordinance change.
Yep.
Is your position, is that a 2-dwelling unit was allowed at that time. It
Yep.
since then became non-conforming. The zoning officer has made a determination, and he can speak to his determination, that a 2-dwelling unit is not a pre-existing non-conforming use for whatever reason he will say, whether or not
Yep.
existence or that. I'm not getting ahead of that. But the board needs to determine effectively whether this is a pre-existing non-conforming use, or in the alternative, whether or not you're entitled to a variance.
And then just to couple with that, because it is circumstantial based on it, the other two pieces that go along with that fact that this district didn't exist is that both the Lehigh County assessment parcel record card, as well as the other GRS data that we submitted into evidence,
Yeah, no,
both state that it was a and I don't want to misquote it, but it was a 2 family unit. It was a 2 apartment unit. And that's both the GRS that we submitted in evidence, but also the Lehigh County Assessment Office has listed this as a 2 apartment conversion.
Okay. And I guess I'll start with this one question, because I mean, it's important for the findings.
Sure,
that
of
what
course,
we would have
of
written
course.
to. What year do you hoist that the 2-dwelling unit was established?
So
I missed it, I'm sorry.
I do have here, and this was actually provided by the zoning officer. I do have here plumbing records that was provided by the zoning officer.
Okay.
The plumbing itself, and I have enough copies for everyone. The plumbing itself.
We'll mark this A2.
It appears that the plumbing itself for the 2nd-story apartment was created in 1985.
Okay. So,
And I believe that there's, and I don't want to speak for the people in the gallery, but I believe there's people in the gallery that will state from the 80s
Okay.
That it was used in that manner.
fair enough. I'm not trying to get ahead of that. I just
No,
want to try
no,
to
yeah,
tee the board
understood.
up as the,
Understood.
yeah.
And before, because I have other people that are going to testify, before I get to that, I wanted to open the floor to Justin and Desiree in case of.
No,
Yeah.
all I'm trying to do is try and,
Yeah.
we like to just try and orient ourselves at the start of the case to figure out
Yeah.
exactly what we're looking at.
Absolutely.
So for the board with that, are there any questions from the board?
So I understand the idea that there's a separate entrance. Can you get to the top apartment from your house without walking out your front door?
You can cross. So if we go back to the photo, the front elevation, yeah. In the middle of the house on the upper floor, there's those 5 rectangular windows. When the house was built, that was an open porch. And so there is a door from the original main house to that porch and from the apartment to that porch. And I believe
There's no like staircase to a locked
No.
door that you're just like you literally have to go through that little thing to get to another separate entrance.
yes, it's like going out one exterior door through a room and in another exterior door.
Gotcha. Whose is it?
It's part of the apartment.
It's part of the apartment.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I have.
All right. And I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to add before I move on to Desiree.
Is that any other questions from the board?
The only thing I would add is that before when I posted the sign on the 14th, before posting the sign, I went around to every house on the block, knocked on the door, introduced myself, explained what the sign was about, because signs can be alarming. And I have a little map of that and all the people that I spoke with, many of whom are here with us tonight. And that's it.
And Desiree, I know that Justin spoke to this, but well, first, can you please state your full name?
Sure. Desiree Suzanne Strasser.
And what is your connection to Shimer Gardens LLC?
Justin and I own the LLC that we created for the purchase of the property.
And what is your understanding about how long this property has been used as a 2-family apartment conversion?
Well, we moved in 2016 to the house next door, and the previous owners introduced themselves to us. And along with that, we met David for the first time. And that has been since my recollection of knowing that there were multiple people living in the residence.
And then
And it was never a problem.
And from 2016 to 2026, was there any issues that you encountered based upon the fact that this was a 2-apartment conversion?
No.
Did you? And I know we had spoken before, but how close is your property that you two live in compared to this property?
They're pretty much on the opposite side of the block. Like, so this house resides on 11th Avenue and our house is on 10th Avenue, and this property sits very close to 11th Avenue sidewalk, and our house sits pretty close to the 10th Avenue sidewalk. So there's a pretty good amount of yard between us.
And then I want to talk to you a little bit about parking, any parking concerns that exist. Can you talk to me about the existing parking within this property? Would having 2 separate apartments there with
Sure.
different individuals with cars affect the
So-
street parking?
No, the street parking, there's plenty of street parking. I think the most people who use the street parking are the people who work at Holy Family Manor. And I see them getting in and out of the car and going to work. And the property itself has a very large parking pad. And then David uses the carport all the way to the right that you see, like a green rooftop. It's all the way to the right. There you go. There's a carport in there that holds 2 cars and then a 2-car garage. So the property could probably easily have, I don't know, at 5 to 6 cars with no problem getting around.
And you said David uses the carport. Can you just remind the board who David is?
Oh, I'm sorry. David Blankenship is the tenant in the apartment.
I want to talk to you about the character of the community. Do you believe the character of the community is going to be influenced by this?
No, I mean, I think it'll be positively influenced because we'll maintain the house in keeping with the character of the house and keeping the property well maintained.
And I don't know if the board has any questions.
I think I read that you don't have any plans for any renovations in this property in the future. You're going to keep it just as it is.
Yeah, we want to run. We were going to. It needs a lot of cleaning and painting, and it needs a sprucing up in the kitchen. But primarily, the structure of the house will stay the same.
And the apartment.
Oh yeah, in the apartment too.
I have a small question for Mr. Taylor. Because it's connected now interiorly, is that okay? Or do they have to close up one of the doors?
If it was a 2-family dwelling and both doors that led into that common porch were secured, meaning they privacy locks on it, I don't think from a zoning or a building code standpoint it would matter if there was a common porch there.
Cool.
Dave, for the board's benefit, you're going to testify later.
Yes.
Okay.
Briefly.
I'll the board briefly. That's the board. I'm good.
Are there, in the area, do you know if there's, other than across the street, are there any other
Yes.
Hold on.
2-family dwellings?
Yeah, I think in one of the exhibits we showed, there's a list of addresses on, I guess the addendum. There are 11 listed addresses within the district that appear to have multiple meters and mailboxes and entrances that are within the district.
I'm not positive we got the
No, not this one with
It's on
the.
No,
Yeah.
on the narrative statement
Oh,
that
okay.
is
It's on
attached to the
page-
application.
Oh, there's no page, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not really an exhibit. It's just an attachment.
It's like
to
the
it.
4th page in.
I apologize.
And I can make that addendum a separate exhibit if that.
No, I consider part of the application. You're fine.
I'd like to add that number 7 on that list, 1133 Calypso Avenue, is in the photo. If the cursor goes down to the corner of Calypso Avenue and 11th Avenue, it's that house there. The left half of it, the right half of it has 3 meters and multiple mailboxes. Look at that.
Oh, there's that.
or not.
They don't want me looking at it.
Walk in.
You said there's 2 meters, so I assume that there's 2 bills coming to the house.
Yeah, there's separate utilities for the apartment and the house.
All the utilities are separate.
I think the only conjoined utility is water. The main house has heat, gas heat, but the apartment is fully electric.
And then I also think David Blankenship, the current tenant on the second floor, is actually here. He may be able to speak to some of that as well.
And you're testifying later.
Yes.
All right, cool. That's all I got.
We would call David Blankenship.
Sure.
Could you please say your full name?
David Blankenship,
And where do you currently reside?
370 11th Avenue, apartment 2.
And is apartment 2 the apartment on the first or the second floor?
It's a second floor apartment.
When did you first start residing there?
I started living there with my wife in 2006.
And have you lived there continuously since then?
Yes.
Now, prior to you living there, are you aware of if anyone else was living there?
Yeah, I go back as far as 1991. The Cricks, their daughter Louisa, became my wife in 1991. Then she and her 2 children and I moved to another property in West Bethlehem. After that, I think you have a letter from Dan Smith. He rented that apartment. So I go back as far as 1991 on that.
And I know there was a question about utilities. Could you speak to that at all?
Yeah, to separate electric meter. And I think it was PPL first on their mailings when I was getting paper copies of the bill, always had unit 2 or apartment 2 on that. They started that. Like you said, the water is conjoined, all electric apartment, separate water heater, separate air conditioning, heating.
I don't have anything.
Are you living there now?
Yes, I am.
Do you intend to stay living there?
For the near future, at some point, I think I will move to another. I'm looking for a standalone home for myself, but no rush.
This might not be a question for him. Do you have a tenant for the other space as well that's currently in there?
Sure. Presently in our home, my mother lives on the 3rd floor. She's 83. It's been a great fit for her, but it's not going to be a great fit forever. And the thought was that the main house at 370 will allow for 1 level living that she could use.
And just for clarification, when you said your house, you didn't mean the house at issue here, right? You meant the house
yes.
next door.
Yes.
Your home. That you
35.
live
She
in.
presently is on the 3rd floor of 359 10th Avenue. Yeah. But there's 30 steps, she tells me, to get up there.
I'm not 83 and I wouldn't stay there. So.
Yeah.
It has a lovely view.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
So then, in addition to the first floor, then you would have her live there, and then you would rent out the second floor space.
Yes.
And you wouldn't have to do any renovations to make it compliant for her needs?
No.
No.
No. I mean, there's 1 step in from the 2 steps from the front door and 1 step from the back door. It's pretty
Okay, thanks.
many fewer steps.
So that's your current home, the Harry Potter house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When you move into that house, you get many stories of what people call it or their memories of it.
So you're really your own neighbor then.
Yes.
So you're not going to complain about yourself living in the backyard.
No.
No matter what the zoning hearing board decision will reference the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always called it the Harry. I was like,
Yeah.
Or Hogwarts.
yeah.
I don't have anything further for this witness.
Thank you.
And then I think there are members of the community that can speak to the length of time.
So are you calling them as witnesses or they're going to speak as members of the public?
I can call them as witnesses if that would be beneficial.
I can stick.
Yeah, you can offer it.
I will also say
All right.
too, like, 10 people don't need to say that.
Yeah, so
You know what I mean?
so let them talk and then.
Okay.
Kathy and Ed LaBelle.
Yeah, so hold on, we have one comment that may come from the city that may help streamline your case.
Attorney Camerling, I'm willing to stipulate or agree that all these people are going to testify that physically there is a dwelling unit there and it has been there. I'm willing to concede.
Since 1983,
Yeah.
you will stipulate that, and everyone, we're always more than willing to hear comments from the public, but we're just trying to streamline this, and it doesn't sound like the city's contesting that the property has been continuously used physically. That does not mean any legal conclusion.
Yep.
Physically, the city's willing to stipulate that. So with that stipulation, if you just want to call people, that's
I'm okay.
And I'm going to make when you're done, I was going to make a brief statement. If you want to call them after that,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you.
so. With that, do you want to rest your case or?
That I'm resting my case.
Good. All right, so for the members of the general public, for the board's benefit, what I would recommend is allowing Mr. Taylor to present his testimony. Council has the opportunity to cross-examine Mr. Taylor if he deems fit. The board, of course, always has the opportunity to ask Mr. Taylor questions, and then we can let the general public speak if they wish.
As members of the board, I left you 4 exhibits with this application. One is the plumbing permit application from the 1980s, which Mr. Kemmerling and I both presented to you. That permit shows a kitchen, plumbing for a kitchen being installed, which at that time was permitted under the prior zoning ordinance. In 2013, the zoning ordinance changed. And at that point, you could only have 1 kitchen per dwelling. So prior to that, you could have a dwelling with 2 kitchens. Also included is a letter from 2015 from one of my predecessors, where she reviewed the situation and she determined it was a single-family dwelling. Another exhibit that is in there is an email from the granddaughter, I believe, of the seller, stating that her father, I assume Mr. Blankenship, her father, a relative, was living in the apartment. That went to my conclusion that it was a unit for care of a relative. Basically, that my position would be that prior to 2013, any work or alterations done in the property, the plumbing, that was all permitted. They were allowed to create that space, but it was never permitted nor a certificate of occupancy issued for a second apartment. The city doesn't really have a position on the current use of it. The strong feelings one way or another, but we do feel that since it never received a certificate of occupancy, that it doesn't meet that standard to be a 2-family detached dwelling.
Is that all you have, sir?
That's all I have.
So if I can ask one question, does the city take any position whatsoever regarding the variance?
City that takes no position regarding the variance.
Would they have to do anything if we approve the variance? Do they have to do anything to be accepted as a 2-family dwelling? Like, will they have to go through an inspection?
If the board grants a variance, it'll be recognized as a 2-family dwelling. If it's occupied by renters, or people that are not deeded, it's not deeded to them. then it would be subject to the housing ordinance. And believe it's triennial inspections. So,
And-
but there would, my belief is that the current configuration of space there is there and it's legal. It just has not received a certificate of occupancy to be a two-family detached dwelling.
I just want to make sure they're aware that will there be an inspection that possibly flags something that they would have to improve, and they would be on the hook for that in order to operate it as a two-family dwelling.
And just to be clear, they're fine with understanding that, stipulating to that, and following any and all recommendations of the
And if the
city.
board grants the variance, certainly the board wanted to impose a condition that those inspections would occur and that they would comply with all requirements relating to that,
Yeah.
the applicant would be agreeable to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then if at any point, the owners of the property would move in, they wouldn't be subject to the rent. It's just as long as it's a rental or tenant occupied space,
Like any other.
like any other in the city.
Any other questions for Mrs. Taylor from the board? Do you have any cross of Mr. Taylor or?
I don't. I have very, very brief argument. But just in terms of, I understand everything that, zoning officer Taylor said. I think the only thing that we would say in response is that the county assessment office must have been aware of this at some point, because they noted that this was a multifamily dwelling, and it's still to this day on the assessment office listed as that today. So obviously my clients are stipulating they'll follow any and all requirements for inspections and city codes, but I would base on the fact that the assessment office listed it that way, that it wasn't that this was being hidden as two apartments, but instead that, it's possible there may be additional steps that need to be taken. And if a variance is granted, that my clients would make sure they comply with all of that.
General public?
Comments from the public?
While you may not be being called by witnesses, if anyone wants to come up and make any statement, you don't have to, but this is your opportunity. Okay.
All right. You want to?
So the board will accept all exhibits
Yes.
as
Yes.
presented. And they're all admitted. Any final comments? I mean, you made argument briefly right there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that, I think it is a non-conforming use, but in the alternative, if a variance is granted, that I think that it would benefit the community, it would benefit the characteristics of the community, and it would continue to provide much needed housing in the city of Bethlehem.
Understood.
All right, thank you. This time we'll go off the record.
Microphones are on.
All right, so the board is going to consider two separate motions. The first motion will be a motion to deny the pre-existing non-conforming use. And then the second motion will be to grant the variance, subject to a condition that the applicant comply with any and all building code requirements and obtain any and all inspections as necessary from the city for the use and occupancy of that dwelling. With that, is there a motion from the board to deny the pre-existing non-conforming use?
I will motion.
Second.
If you can call the vote.
Mr. Schneck,
Yes.
Ms. Wiles Young,
Yes.
Ms. Joseph,
Yes.
Dr. Van Wert,
Yes.
Lucas Walk,
Yes.
Mr. Walk.
Second, is there a motion from the board to grant the variance subject to the condition as articulated relating to compliance and inspections?
I'll make a motion to grant the variance.
Second.
Mr. Schneck,
Yes.
Ms. Wiles Young,
Yes.
Ms. Joseph,
Yes.
Dr. Van Wert,
Yes.
Mr. Walk.
Yes.
Both motions carry unanimously.
So your variance has been granted. A written decision will be issued by the board in conformance with the municipality's planning code, and you can reach out to the city with regard to the inspections.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the consideration.
Love it. I'm trying to remember the last time I was here when all of you were here together. I loved it.
You will.
We are quite a team.
I'm getting there.
Good team.
Where's the list?
It's the same plumber 43 years
I saw
later.
that. I saw
The
that
same
too.
plumber.
Wow. Noticed that too. I was like, oh,
Ready?
this is not the same.
Amazing.
That's
All right.
unheard of.
Next appeal is 277 Mars Court.
277 Mars Court, appeal of Abraham J. Assad to modify a previously approved dimensional variance to allow increased building coverage. 25.67% previously approved, 27.8% proposed, to permit an additional 362 square feet of rear porch roof area. Sections 1302.22, 1306.01A1, 1325.06, and all associated variances, special exceptions, and interpretations.
Before we get started, can you confirm when you posted, the property was posted?
Mr. Assad did give me a posting certification. Or Dr. Assad, rather, I apologize.
It's I'm not a doctor, but thank you.
Dated posting and the certification is April 14th.
So the board will mark the application and supporting materials as ZHB1, and we will mark the zoning hearing board posting certification as ZHB2.
Thank you.
You can proceed with your testimony.
Okay. I am Abraham Assad, or I go by Abe. Thank you all for the zoning board committee to hear me again. I was previously here with my wife. I'm here with my daughter tonight. My wife was not able to attend. And this was an oversight the first time we submitted for the request for the additional building coverage over the existing concrete pad that has already been approved on November 25th, 2025. Again, it was an oversight. We're not creating any additional runoff of stormwater as the patio was approved. We're just adding a roof over that approved existing patio. My wife and daughter are very sensitive to the sun, and we would like it covered year round. We'd like to use the jacuzzi, the hot tub, which we are placing there and was also approved on that same date in November of 2025. We'd like to use it year round, different times of the day. So it would help us with that. That's pretty much it. On the next page, I just said that we have a family of 7 and different people will be using it throughout different days of the week with our family. And on that drawing that's up there on the upper right side of the drawing that's dotted. That would be the additional coverage over the patio, which I believe David is highlighting now with the cursor. So again, I'm requesting if you would allow this variance, please, on behalf of my family. More for convenience and to allow us to use that area more often when we're using the hot tub. That's it that I have. Any questions? I'd be happy to take them.
So for the board's benefit, and Dr. Sadi did a good job of summarizing it. The board earlier this year, I believe it was on January 2nd, is the date I have, the board issued a decision granting very, very similar relief
Yes, sir.
relating to building coverage as well as some other issues that were articulated in that decision.
Correct.
And all that you're requesting tonight is to increase the building coverage as stated in there from the 27.8% to permit an additional 62.5 square feet over the rear porch. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And sir, can we incorporate by reference the prior decision granted that granting you those variances?
Yes, sir, please.
And inside that decision, did the board find that that the lot had certain hardships, including irregular lot area, irregular lot shape, and issues such as that?
Yes, correct.
I guess one more. The porch is existing, correct?
Yes.
So are you creating any new impervious coverage, or is this just the roof?
No new impervious coverage, just the roof.
Will your roof have a gutter on it?
Yes, yes, of course, yes.
And is that tying into your other gutter system?
Yes, the whole thing will tie in together. Correct.
So it's like a solid roof. It's not like a rollback. Like it's just
Correct. Exactly.
And in your in that plan, is it only the bubbled portion that I guess I'm a little bit confused. Is it only
It would tie in with the portion that was already approved.
But if I could clarify that, but Dr. Assad currently has a building project going on. The rear patio that is shown, that the shaded area that is fully
bless you.
legal, fully approved at this point. You previously granted him a variance for building coverage. That building coverage included that center porch area. And Dr. Assad is just asking for that dotted line inside of inside of the bubbled area as additional porch roof over existing patio, or what is approved patio. Yeah,
Oh, it's just the dotted line.
it is just the dotted line. Correct.
So that's a
Correct.
weird looking roof, man. If you're putting that bubble.
Yeah. It was just to stand out.
No.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that the box that says where the dimension 60 by 18 patio, that dotted box is previously approved. And like I said, it's the dotted
The
box
right
to the
of-
right.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the I'm sorry. What's the whole gray area? That's the size of the patio.
It's a such that this district allows 50% impervious surface, but it only allows 15% in building coverage.
I'm seeing now. I got it.
Is there a reason for that?
I wasn't around for the when the ordinance was drafted. I'm not really sure. I know we were looking at tweaking some stuff in the zoning ordinance. That's one of the things on my mind, because this issue has been in front of you a few times. Not this specific. I mean, it comes periodically
Okay.
from the RS district and the
I just
RR
wasn't
district.
sure if there was an argument from the city as to why you shouldn't do this
Oh, why?
outside of it being in the code. Like, is there a reason that I'm not thinking of?
No, I don't have a reason for it now.
Cool. Okay.
Dr. Assad, anything else you want to provide?
No, sir.
You want to make your daughter testify for fun?
She would do a much better job than me. And I thought I said it earlier. I am not a doctor. It was misstated.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's
Just roll
okay.
with it.
Just go with
Someone
it.
called the Dr. Volk guy. Just
But thank you.
Maybe one day. That's all right.
Well,
My
maybe
mistake.
in next life. No, no worries. Thank you. My daughter is looking,
I'll become doctor.
she,
There you go.
she's a senior looking to become a PA at least.
We'll find out if you have a nice shaded area in the back of your house to study it.
Thank you.
I would just, if I could just ask one question, is Dr. I'm looking at the overhead. Your backyard is fairly shrouded in vegetation and hidden and buffered.
Yes,
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 okay.
yes.
So this really won't be intruding on any neighbors.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
What high school?
Freedom.
All right.
Go Pete.
Oh, she has,
It's all right.
she has
Right
correctly.
answer. Right answer.
Right answer. Oh, way.
We'll go off the record.
Thank you.
Phones are back.
At this time, we'll go back on the record. I have a motion from a member of the board.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Schneck,
Yes.
Paper, scissors.
Ms. Wiles Young,
Yes.
Ms. Joseph,
Yes.
Dr. Van Wert,
Yes.
Mr. Walk.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you all. Appreciate
Good
it.
luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy it. Sounds good.
Have a good night all.
Appreciate you. 15.
Okay, we can do that.
Way earlier than when I thought. 30 people walked in.
I know I said it.
Same. I was like,
But I knew that.
I almost wanted to say, is anyone against this?
Yeah.
That's what I'm really like. If you guys are all in favor, say aye, and it's all good.
Okay.
All right. Next appeal is 616 Linden Street. And may we have the facts of the case?
616 Linden Street, the appeal of Philip Rader for a special exception to permit a ground story, one-bedroom addition on the rear of a non-conforming two-family semi-detached dwelling in the CL zoning district. Sections 1302.40C, 1305.01A, 1323.04, 1325.07, and all associated variances, special exceptions, and interpretations.
All right. And Mr. Rader, can you confirm when the property was posted?
The property was posted on April 10th at noontime, and I have that certification right here.
Thank you.
So with the board's indulgence, we will mark the application as ZHB 1 and the zoning hearing board posting certification dated April 15, 2026 as ZHB 2.
All right. And you may proceed.
Hello, everyone. I am Philip Rader, and I'm here to request a special exception to a one-story addition measuring 10 feet, 6 inches by 17 feet to the rear of a two-family semi-detached dwelling in the CL zoning district. The address is 616 Linden Street. Section 1323.04 of the zoning law dictates a lawful non-conforming use or structure may be only expanded if the total building floor area or land area is not increased by more than 50%. The proposed use is allowed within the zoning district as long as the additional construction does not exceed the 50% of the original construction. The increase in footprint is 28% for the first floor apartment. If you look at the total square footage of both apartments, it's an increase footprint of 14%. The existing use is a legally non-conforming two-family semi-detached dwelling, again, in the CL district. This is not a request for an additional apartment. This is a specific request to expand only the first floor unit from a one-bedroom to a two-bedroom apartment for an increase of 178 square feet. The total square footage of the apartment when completed will be 802 square feet. The design allows me to provide the required 5 feet of fire protection zone at all three sides of the new construction. The plan for the additional bedroom will meet the current 2021 International Residential Code. The addition will be 1 story tall and will enable me to better serve the needs of my tenants with families. This addition will enhance the neighborhood by having longer-term tenants remain in the apartment, which in turn allows them to be part of the neighborhood. The design will also conform to the neighborhood character with a remaining backyard of 21 feet by 22 feet, 6 inches. The addition will also incorporate a better defined side entry to the apartment with an interior foyer. Overall, when completed, this addition will enhance the property values of my neighbors. I've owned the building since 1990 and have appeared before this board in 2003 for a change of the commercial space on the first floor to a residential apartment, which it is now. I'm a licensed landlord in the city of Bethlehem and have held a certificate of occupancy since 1991, at the early 1991, with all the requested updates. I also have a business license with the city of Bethlehem since 1988. Overall, the small addition will have an impact on the neighborhood. And if I may, I can show you how it's going to look. So we have the facade of the building with the posting, the placard, window. And this picture shows approximately in the backyard view of where that addition will occur. And this is a zoning, or this is a survey map. And the highlighted area, I can bring this closer to everyone here. That's the highlighted area where the addition will occur. So have a plan that will be submitted for a permit with your approval. The existing apartment is a bedroom, living room, kitchen, bathroom, and an open porch will be enclosed, and then the addition will be attached back here, highlighted.
Where's the front? The front's on the left? The front door?
Front door would be right here.
It opens into
sorry,
the bedroom?
right here.
Oh, okay.
And that takes you directly to the second floor apartment.
Okay.
So did you say there'd be a side door
There
or?
is a side door already.
Okay.
This is the door going into the apartment now from an open porch, and that's how this tenant accesses.
Accesses, okay.
But it'll be enhanced with this because that porch would be enclosed, and most of the, there'd be 2 steps outside, but the rest of the steps would occur inside in a foyer area, enclosed foyer.
What's the parking situation?
So I have a letter from Dave Taylor.
We might have it. I didn't get through it. Oh, you know, I think we do have it.
On the mark, so this is applicant's exhibit 1.
Okay, and I believe that's already attached to the
Yeah,
application.
I didn't get there yet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have a tenant living there already?
I do.
Are they
Had tenants in the building since 1990.
are they staying? Like, is this as an expansion to the current tenant, or is it a new tenant?
Downstairs tenant is staying, even though the construction would occur, with your approval. And she wants a bigger apartment, so it would probably be suited for her needs.
Sir, just because I want to get on the microphone.
Oh, I'm
Can you go back over there?
Of course.
Okay, just because it helps the audio.
Sorry.
I understand.
Does this meet all required setbacks?
It does, including the 5 feet for fire zone, for
Okay.
fire fighting purposes.
So this is only for the special exception.
This is only for a special exception. It's in the RT district. It's I apologize. It's in the CL district. It's actually in the CL district, which has to meet the RT dimensional requirements. So that's a 4-foot side yard, which Mr. Rader has stayed 5 feet away. As he said, if he goes below 5 feet under the building code, then he has to start fire rating the exterior wall. And similarly, I mean, by zoning on the upper portion, he could go over to the common lot line. But again, he stayed 5 feet away for his own reasons.
What percentage is this increasing?
The total
coverage?
square feet is 178 square
What
feet.
percentage of total lot coverage is this increasing?
It's 14%.
Okay.
So with the board's indulgence, there's also, so it is a special exception. There's general requirements for a special exception. I'd very quickly like to ask you about those. Sir, do you believe that this is consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of the zoning ordinance?
I do.
Do you believe that it's in the best interest of Bethlehem, the convenience of the community, the public welfare, and will be an improvement to this property in the immediate vicinity?
It will be an improvement because it'll increase having one additional bedroom in this apartment.
Do you believe that that the proposed expansion is suitable for the property in question and design will be constructed and operated and be maintained so as to be in harmony with the appearance and surrounding vicinity?
I do because directly next door in the other half of this particular building is a 2-bedroom apartment on the first floor also, that has a very similar addition out the back.
And you testified earlier that this will be operating in conformance with all other applicable requirements of the zoning ordinance, the building code, and all other requirements.
That's correct, yes.
Is it your position that the proposed use will not substantially change the character of any of the surrounding residential uses?
I do not, because it will still have, the facade won't change, the side won't change. So the only change is in the back, and it will still have a yard that's 22 feet by 21 and a half feet.
And do you believe that this use is suitable in terms of the effects on street traffic, safety, and sidewalks and vehicular access arrangements to protect the city streets from undue congestion or hazard?
I agree with that.
And that this use will not create any public hazard with regard to public health, safety, and welfare, such as fire, toxic, or explosive hazards?
It will not.
And the proposed use shall be is suitable, in your opinion, for the site, considering steep slopes, mature trees, environmentally sensitive areas. None of those will be implicated.
The backyard, it has a very gentle, less than 1% slope.
And there's nothing back there that's environmentally sensitive.
It will not.
Those are the requirements under the ordinance.
I'm going to ask the question before Dr. Van Werk gets there, but that big tree that's back there, that's not going to be affected at all?
It's actually on the neighbor's property.
Oh, okay.
It's a large pine tree, and it's not on my property.
That's exactly what I was just about to ask.
I thought so.
You had to step on her there.
You did.
I didn't know until we zoomed out. I said, I don't want that tree to come back. And I'm assuming the addition will be in character with what the rest of the house feels like.
It will, yes.
Any other questions? Paige is searching for another one. real
No, no, I'm good.
quick.
I'm good.
Man.
All right. Any closing statements?
I don't have any. It's a rather small request of 178 square feet, but I think it'll really enhance this building to have a 2-unit apartment on the first floor for perhaps in the future a family, but at this time, probably one single individual.
This time we'll go off the record.
Microphones are back.
All right, we'll go back on the record. If I can have a motion from a member of the board.
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve the special exception.
Second.
Mr. Schneck,
Yes.
Ms. Wiles Young,
Yes.
Ms. Joseph,
Yes.
Dr. Van Wert,
Yes.
Mr. Walk.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Sir, you'll receive a written decision in the mail and you can reach out to the city as well.
Very good. Thank you.
That hearing is closed.
Ta-da.
So for that first case, there was a couple pieces that